it's Steph with Tiny's Garden, and today I'm inside at my dining room table where I have been keeping some of the cut flowers I've cut from my cut flower garden. If you're new here, welcome. I am Steph. I am a home gardener in Zone 5B in the Chicago suburbs, and I have a raised bed cut flower garden. I've got 8 in the back and 6 in the front. And I just love growing cut flowers. So today I've got my big Lisianthus harvest that I'm really proud of. It's the biggest harvest of Lisianthus I've had in 3 years. The first year was pretty much a dud. I think I had 4 plants go in the ground. Last year it was better, but I still had a lot of space in my raised beds. And then this year, love the sight of that. It's so much more densely packed, which is what I wanted this year. Finally, we had a lot of volume and so I'm super pleased about that. So with all of these blooms, I want to give some away to my neighbors, and I want to kind of play around with making some bouquets. So today what I'm going to do is bring you along with me to do that. I also have some Zinnias and Dahlias in here, so we're just going to have fun with it. And what I did this morning was I went to Target, the drive up, of course. Target drive up is amazing. And what I ordered from Target was mason jars. I knew they had mason jars and I had seen them before, but I was like, maybe they're too expensive. But I looked online and they have the sweetest mason jars with bees on them. Bees, I love it. So I got some of those. I also got some larger pink ones. And I can always return them pretty easily if they don't work out for me. So I have to go out into the heat to get these. It's a bit of a heat wave here. And when I say a bit, it is 110 heat index today. You walk outside and it's like you're swimming in humidity. For those of you in dry climates, these are the times when I envy you. So I'm not sure my camera's gonna work outside, but we're gonna try. So let's go and get those mason jars and begin. Come along. Thankfully the camera is working. The humidity is not too much. So I'm gonna grab my Target mason jars and I will show you them inside for a closer look. I haven't actually looked at them yet, and I love them. Okay, we are back inside. I've got my tall stack of mason jars. Let's open up and take a look. Oh, here we go. The Honeybee Keepsakes Edition Ball Jar will have you buzzing with excitement. I am buzzing with excitement. Created in celebration of our favorite garden hero, these mason jars highlight the vital importance of pollinators in growing the foods we love to preserve. How great is that? I'll open these so you can see up close, and I can actually take them out and see their size. So this, I believe, is 16 ounces. Oh, I love these. I thought when I saw them on the Target app that they were great, and I am thrilled. Check that out. A nice bee with some honeycombs and ball mason. These are the best mason jars I've ever seen. Save the pollinators, y'all. Save the pollinators. So these bee mason jars came in a pack of 4 and I paid $12.99 for them. So that's $3.24 about each, which I'm fine with. I would like to have more inventory of these little mason jars for giving away bouquets, or if I would ever sell them. I haven't started selling them yet, but I actually thought if I have some left over, maybe I'll do a post on the local Facebook moms page and see if anybody would like some. I just have to figure out how I'm gonna price them, but food for thought. And then I have these, which are bigger. Let me open these up. They are the vintage collection and they are rose colored. These are bigger as well. They are 32 ounces, so I could actually do some bigger bouquets in these. Okay. Ball, made in USA, ideal. And it's a very faint tint of pinkish mauve on it. Apparently this is how they looked in the 1930s, according to the packaging. So that's a nice option as well. And these also come in 4 in a pack, and I paid $14.99 for these. So what would that be? $3.74. Basically $3.75 per mason jar. I'm sure you can probably get them for wholesale, especially if you're a flower farmer, somewhere else for a better deal. If you know, please comment below, list your favorite mason jars, because some viewers might find that really helpful, and I am interested as well. But for getting them quickly at my local Target, I am really pleased with this. So thanks, Target. They definitely did not sponsor this video. I just found them when I was searching, just to clarify, but I'm certainly happy they had them in stock. Okay, so I have 5 neighbors that I want to give them out to in these cute bee pollinator mason jars. And then I want to make one with the 32-ounce jar. And I also have used this craft paper before. This craft paper was great for my tulips when I harvested tulips and gave them to many clients earlier this spring. They worked really well. I'll put the dimensions of this on the screen, but I actually think I prefer it a little smaller, because what I do is I fold it in half and then I staple the bottom, and I go to the inside and have the whole be about this big. So it's not a super big bouquet. Come in and staple up here. Of course, my stapler's out of staples, but I also would staple up here. So I think next time I would get just probably a sheet of craft paper and just fold it and staple it that way. But these work too. Let's get to making these bouquets. I need to fill up my mason jars with water first, and then I'm also going to put some flower food in there. I just use, I think it's called the Crystal flower food, and then we'll be good to start arranging. I just bought a pack of this flower food when I got into cut flowers. I think it was from Amazon. So if I can find it, I'll link it below in the description. All right, I've got a tray to carry all my jars, so it's a little easier. Now let's fill them up. I really did save some of my Lisianthus that fell, that were injured during the catastrophic drop. Told you I'd put them in a vase and make them look pretty. Works for me. All right, here we go. Put my flower food in here. And I can use, because this isn't a full vase, one for at least 3. I'll put a little more in the 3rd one. I forgot a stir. Let me get a stir. So I'm just gonna use a wooden spoon, the bottom of it, to stir this in a little bit. I don't know how necessary it is, but it does say to stir it in on the package, so we might as well follow the directions. Should have put a fan on me in here. Heat wave. Okay, we are all stirred in. It is game time. It is bouquet making time. Are you ready? We are ready. Break. So I have my ARS shears here, and I really would have to say these are probably my favorite, both for harvesting and for making bouquets. Maybe it's just because these I haven't left outside, and my other ones, which are the Felco ones, I have left outside, and so there's a decent amount of rust on those, which is not great. I actually bought these from Floret. They are the ARS SE45 shears, and I've been really happy with them. I think you can also get them on Amazon, so I'll link them below if you're interested. So for these 5, I'm going to give some to my neighbors. I definitely want Lisianthus in all of them, and then I'm just going to play around with color. I'm not doing a color palette, nothing fancy up in here, just a beautiful bouquet is what we're going for. If you ask me if I have a method of doing it, no, I really don't have any professional experience or certain ways that I go about it. I just put what I think looks pretty together and try and fill in the gaps. And I am going to cut the ends of all of these before I put them in. If I had any weepers or things that droop, I would put them in quick dip before I put them in the water. I would cut them fresh and put them in quick dip. Those are things like Bupleurum, Mahogany Splendor, Hibiscus. I think some basil does that, but I don't have any in here, so I'm not using quick dip today. But if you like using those types of plants, I definitely recommend quick dip. It does make a difference. So I'll make the first one with you in real time. Let's find a real pretty one. Should we do purple? Why not? This one was one that was a surprise to me. It is Arena 3 Purple, if I remember right. And I did not order this. So this came on its own. I think it must have been in with the Roseanne Black Pearl, which is fine. I don't think I'll order it because it's not my favorite, but it is a pretty purple. Now with these mason jars, they're not too tall. If I were putting it in this pink one, maybe I would keep the stem a little longer, but that's going to be way too big for something like this. I'll bring you in a little closer so you have a better look here. One other thing I actually learned this week from watching Nicole from Flower Hill Farm about zinnias, harvesting zinnias. It's better to harvest them the night before you make your bouquet because they tend to have droopy heads. And if you condition them, which essentially means leave them in water overnight, then they don't have weepy heads when you're making the bouquet. And all of these zinnias are not weeping. This one is just turned, but that's something else. So thanks, Nicole, for reminding me about that. I think I might have known that, but I definitely forgot. So these were harvested yesterday or the day before. Same thing with these 2 days ago, I think, which is not ideal, right? If we're harvesting flowers, especially if you're selling them, it's better to have a cooler, but I'm just your home gardener, and so my dining table is where it's at. And it's pretty warm in here, which is also not ideal because it's 110 heat index outside. But you know what? We make it work. We make it work, don't we, friends? If you sell them, tell me your story about how you got into selling them, what worked well for you. Here's my thing. Let's go on a little soapbox talk here. I grow flowers because I love to. It brings me joy. I started after my son was born. I mean, I always grew up with a garden around my parents' house, which I'm really grateful for, but I really got into it starting flowers from seed after my son was born because I had postpartum depression and it was kind of a rough time. Not kind of, it was not an easy time, and this brought me a lot of joy. So it's special to me and it's a hobby to me, and it fills my cup up rather than drains my cup. And I'm worried if I start to sell them, because when I do something, I want to do it really well. I don't want to, quote unquote, half butt it. You know, we'll keep this channel G-rated, but I don't want to do it halfway. I want to do it the whole way. So if I do it, I want to do it well. And I don't know for sure if I have the time to do that to the standard I want, because I do work part-time. I have my own business, and I'm not gonna lie, doing these videos takes a lot of work and time, and I don't know if I could give selling them, oh, we have another broken one here, the full attention it needs. But I could be wrong. Comment below and let me know, did you just dabble in it? Like, maybe I could just do this Facebook post to the moms group around me and have some interest and sell them every once in a while that way, which would be good because, you know, it wouldn't hurt to bring in some income to pay for my hobby that is fairly expensive. When you do it on the scale I do it on, which is not like a huge scale. I mean, flower farmers spend a lot more usually, typically, but it's not like one little garden bed is what I'm trying to say. So I would like it to pay for itself. That would be nice, yeah? So comment below, please, and share how you got into selling if you're selling, or if you don't sell and tried to sell and it didn't go well, or it drained you of the joy of it. That's what I really don't want to happen. I don't want it to turn into work that I don't enjoy. I want to keep it as my little sacred, happy, fun hobby. You know what I'm saying? So please share your experience below. Let me know. Voyage to White coming in hot here. Let's move you gals that are in the waiting line over here. You know what? I'm gonna do all colors in this one. I've got Voyage to Champagne in this one too. Oh, this is sad. This one wasn't in the water. See, I'm really not a professional. This is why it's better to use your flowers closer to when you actually harvested them. No doubt about that. But at the same time, I'm gonna give myself grace, the mantra of the year, because I'm doing what I can and I'm keeping myself happy with it. Can't keep a good woman down. Yeah, see how that one's kind of squished? I'm just not okay with giving one that looks like that away. So I'm gonna cut that off. See that's what I mean. Even if I'm giving away for free just to be kind and thank my neighbors for being good neighbors, I don't want something that's not at its best. So if I'm selling them, it's probably gonna even be a whole nother level. I don't wanna get too serious. But I also want something that I would be proud of. So that's my shtick. My next big flush of Lisianthus, I can see it already. I'm going to use one of the tall vases that I have because the stem length, look at the stem length. And this is actually one of the shorter ones. I wanted to be so pretty with a really tall vase or vessel with Lisianthus just pouring out of it. I can see it. I can see it. Okay, I think we're looking good here. Here's where we're at with the Lisianthus. And now I just want to come in and fill in some of those gaps with some other flowers. But don't you see why I love Lisianthus? It's so beautiful. Okay, I love putting all sorts of flowers together. However, no go here. See how these are all pretty pastel-y, and then this is Benary's Giant Scarlet, which is like an orangey red. It's too much even for me, and I love mixing colors up. It's too abrasive with these soft, frilly, delicate flowers. So I'm gonna try something else. Okay, we have a bit of a problem. My camera is overheating. It just shut off from overheating. So let's hope that doesn't happen again. But if I have to switch, this is the sitch. Now look at this. This is Lilliput Salmon. This is one of the smallest varieties you can get for zinnias, and I have really enjoyed them this year. This color paired with these is going to be less abrasive. So I'm gonna use something like this. That works better for me. Benary's Giant Salmon Rose, my favorite zinnia. There we go, that takes up a lot of space for me in the back. Check that out. Loving it. Benary's Giant Lime I'm also going to use because I think this will work okay. It picks up on the buds that are just starting to open in the Lisianthus, which have a slight green to them. So that works for me. Now this one is a little bit faded, Benary's Giant Salmon Rose, but I'm okay with it because I think it works in this bouquet, and that'll fill up a lot of space for me down in here. So that works well. Now I feel like I just need one right in this hole, and we'll be good with this first one. Oh, I love this. See how tall he is? And by tall, I mean his head is pretty thick. It's almost like a teddy bear sunflower looking. That's gonna be perfect right there. I think I still have a little gap. Maybe I'm a classic overstuffer, but I can't handle that little gap. So let's find something else. You know what's gonna be perfect is to replicate this Lilliput Salmon. Yep. And the first bouquet is done. Just like that. What do y'all think? Comment below and let me know. I think the proportion is right. This isn't too big for the vase, so I wouldn't go bigger. I would do this size for a 16-ounce mason jar or less. Oh my gosh, I love it. Yep, my camera officially overheated again. It's 97 outside, like I said, with 110 heat index, and it's 74 in here. I think my air conditioning is having trouble keeping up, but we're gonna move on. I'm gonna do another one, but a different color palette and a little smaller, so you can maybe see two very different ones within the same harvest. Girl, you pretty though. You're pretty. Okay, let's see what we got. Yes, so when I put her stem slightly forward and go over the other stems, it helps keep her upright, and I like the way that looks more. And then she'll stay there. So you can use the structure of the stems a little bit within your bouquet to help set it up like you'd like. Guys, these are just things that I've learned as I go. So the more you get your hands on cut flowers and arranging by your own, the more you'll learn. Yes, there's a lot of great resources out there. I did take Florette's cut flower course, which was amazing, but I really do learn a lot just from poking around and poking around and playing with it myself. Tinkering, I think I was looking for tinkering as that word. Tinkering with it myself. Okay, so this one is much smaller, but it works for me. And I think the proportion works as well. Don't love that there's not a flower here because I would like for them to enjoy them from all angles, although you could just set it in a corner or something. But again, here I am. I want it to be creme de la creme. So I'm gonna put one more here. Better. See the difference? Yeah, that'll work for me. So I used way less flowers. It's a different form, right? This one is longer on each side. It reaches horizontally. This one is upright. This one has more Lisianthus in my left hand, so it would be more expensive than this side because this is Zinnias and just one stalk of Lisianthus. However, I love them both, and this is all from the same harvest. So you can get really creative with how you're making your bouquets. I would charge more for this if I was selling because Lisianthus is more time consuming, more labor involved in those. So this one would be more expensive than something like this. I'm curious, let me know what you would price these at. We'll say this is bouquet 1 with more Lisianthus, and this is bouquet 2 with zinnias and one stalk of Lisianthus. Off the top of my head, I'm saying $15 for this, $25 for this, or $20. Probably $25. There's a decent amount of Lissies in there. And for my area, I think I could do it. Now, my hometown is a small farm town. If I was in my hometown, I would charge less. Okay, now I'm gonna speed through doing these other 3, 4, so I can get them done and we can go deliver some little bundles of joy.
For this one, I had the idea of doing all Lisianthus in this vase.
I'm liking that idea with this vase. I think I'm liking it. This video is probably going to be rather long, so I hope you have some water, some refreshments, you know, maybe a notepad and paper if you have any inspirational moments. Get comfortable over there. My mood is instantly lifted every time I make bouquets, whether it's for myself or other people. I'm gonna be honest, I was hot and tired and didn't really want to do this, preferred to take a nap, but I'm so glad I started because it's so fun. Look at how long that is. That's what I mean about a really tall base with these, even if it wasn't many. I made one the other week of just a few Lisianthus with 4 nail dahlias and I loved it. I think that's gonna work right there. Good. Gotta look at this from forward. Because I think this is one that's just gonna be a forward facing. I'm okay with that. Look at that! We're so close. We're so close. Okay, so see how it's a little open and there are still little gaps? I mean, it's pretty. I could let it go, but I think I'm gonna try a trick of taking the ends, putting a rubber band around it and see how it's more concentrated. Let's try that. I actually don't think I'm gonna touch it because, I mean, look at her. This is gorgeous. I'll put the rubber band on just because I said I would, and let's see what happens. Okay, this one is not happy. Okay, here we are with the rubber band. I think I'm happy with that. Let me step away and look at it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it. Look at that bouquet of Lissies! Because I'm so particular, maybe one more right here. Right here. Problem solved. Okay, let me know what you guys think of this bouquet that is all Lisianthus. I do have a couple varieties in there, Voyage to Champagne and Voyage to White. As I said, it is one-sided. I would put this against the wall or on a desk or something like that in a corner of a station. So please comment below, share your thoughts, your ideas. I will take constructive criticism. It's really good to get a dialogue going on down in the comments. So please don't hold back. Share with me your thoughts because that's how I learn and that's how other people learn as well. But so far, I'm liking this. This has been a really fun bouquet making day. Let's continue. Okay, so here are the 3 that are going to other people's homes. This middle one will probably go to my mother-in-law because I would charge a good $1 for this if I were selling it because like I said again, it's all Lisianthus. But these 2 will go to neighbors and then we've got 3 more to make. So if you're still here, thank you for being here. If you're enjoying my content, please subscribe to my channel to follow along with all things garden. And now I'm gonna go ahead and make the others and speed this up. But cheers to you if you're still watching this video. The Lisianthus are really quite heavy. I'm finding I'm having to cut them a little more for these smaller mason jars because they want to topple over. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. It's a really soft palette. Benary's Giant Salmon Rose, Lilliput Salmon, and Voyage to Champagne Lisianthus. Here we go, I think this one's done. Again, smaller, but I actually did do a color palette on this one. Nope, I need more. I need one more right here. And isn't this a beautiful Benary's Giant Salmon Rose to do that? Voila. And the Lissies are still shining, but you can place this anywhere. You've got interest all the way around. Another one done. I have some Sahara Rudbeckia in here. Let's use her because she's really beautiful too. That looks really nice with the Voyage to Champagne there. My Sahara Rudbeckia patch has been amazing this year.
Here are some other variations from the back that reseeded itself and came back this year really strong. Even this one's a little different than the red up front. And then these have almost like a brush stroke of burgundy throughout. This is my favorite type of the Sahara Rudbeckia when it has the yellow outside and the burgundy inside. I just think that is beyond pretty.
Could not love it more. If you haven't grown Sahara Rudbeckia, and for that matter, Chimchimney Rudbeckia, which I might go a couple because I think yellow would be pretty in some of these.
Here the Chimchimney Rudbeckia shines under the sweet peas.
Try it. I highly, highly recommend. Alamode right here is starting to be on its way out, so they'll only get a couple days in this, but that's okay. She's still so beautiful. And I'm gonna leave the little buds on because I think it adds a nice little whimsical interest. I forgot about Lark's Ebb. She's so beautiful. And look, this bud even opened a little bit, which is great. I picked these the other day and that was closed. Because it's got the slightest hint of a little burgundy in it, let's put this one in here. Got too much green in here. Let's try and find something to help this Lilliput stand out a little bit. Okay, that's better. I just cut each of those a little shorter, the Lilliput Salmon and the Rudbeckia, and now they're placed in a way in which you can't see the green stems as much. Ooh, she's pretty. She's real pretty. I'm gonna have to remember that. I really like the combination of the Lark's Ebbs with the Benary's Giant Deep Red and the Sahara Rudbeckia. That's nice together. Last one to finish. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Myrtle's Brandy Dahlia. This actually was closed. So I'm kind of surprised because usually when you pick dahlias, they don't open as much, but now it's more open. This was just a bud when I picked this one, and it was slightly open. And now she looks real pretty. My husband and my son are just getting home. Perfect timing because I'm almost done. The white one did it for me. Finished it off. Now this one is bigger as well. More Lisianthus in it. Probably my least favorite out of all of them, but she's still a beaut. Okay, that is a wrap, everybody. Here are the final bouquets. I've got 6 made, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and most of them are going to neighbors. The big Lisianthus one is going to my mother-in-law, and I hope everybody finds some joy in them. If I have to pick a favorite, I mean, this one is hard to argue with, but I really like the horizontal one. This guy here, I like its form. I like how it's kind of horizontal and a unique angle. And all the way around, it's really just quite beautiful. So I really like that one. That might be one of my favorites. Well, for sure one of my favorites, but in the running for favorite. However, this simple little one here, I really like as well. I like the way that everything seamlessly flows together. I mean, there's maybe 10 stems in here. It's not crazy, but they're all placed quite beautifully. So I really enjoy this one as well. And this one, the one that I actually did a color palette on, so peaches, pinks, and creams. It's just Lilliput Salmon, Voyage to Champagne, Benary's Giant Salmon Rose, and that blends pretty well and beautifully together as well. But I have to say, I'm happy with all of them. I do like this one. This one got a split in it, so that bothers me a little bit. I did put a rubber band around it, but that's okay. It's still beautiful, especially at that angle. That's pretty, isn't it? And then we've got this wild one back here. That isn't my favorite because there's a lot going on there. There's a lot, probably too much, but I'm never gonna complain about that much Lisianthus that is looking real nice and healthy, real beautiful. So this was a fun wild one, but not my favorite. And that'll be it, everybody. Comment below and let me know which one you enjoyed the best, which one is your favorite, and also how you're creating your bouquets, what you're using right now in this time of the season. And also, if you haven't, please subscribe to my channel to follow along with all things garden. Remember to like this video if you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you guys for liking these videos and subscribing. It really helps my channel grow, and I love growing things with you. So I appreciate all your support. We'll see you in the next one, everybody. Happy planting. Bye. Bye-bye.